I appealed President Museveni to do justice for my husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and his friend, Hajobet Kamlege, and all other political prisoners who've been in jail for months, for years, without trial, and for whom their only crime is to disagree politically. They are political dissidents.
WINNIE BYANYIMA has come out to cry to General Kaguta Museveni to release his husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye. Among the politicians who have been treated unfairly in General Museveni's government is Kizza Besigye. In fact, sometimes I feel like Kizza Besigye have not enjoyed the life of this earth, because almost the entire life, at least half of his life, he has been spent in the dungeons suffering to make our country better. He entered the bush when I think he was 29 or 30. Thereafter, he joined the government. Like in 10 years, he was in the opposition. He's the person who has ever been jailed for the longest. Yet, amongst all those cases, the court comes out to acquit him. The courts have never ruled that Kizza Besigye is in the wrong, but yet he has spent so much time in jail. Right now, he has spent 6 months in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 months is a lot. Just imagine we were in COVID and they used to restrict our movement. We felt like we were in jail. What about a person who stays in a room? Last time he complained that there is a lot of bed bugs feeding on him. Remember, he's 69 years. Kizza Besigye may die in jail. So WINNIE BYANYIMA came out and directly spoke to General Kaguta Museveni. Remember, General Kaguta Museveni, WINNIE BYANYIMA came out to reveal that they have ever dated. So speaking to him is speaking to him in very many angles, which I'm going to explain in this video. Okay? So in this episode, I've come to speak about WINNIE BYANYIMA's complaint, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the sedimentaries we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So when I was young, I think it was in 2001 elections. I remember I was in primary. I used to hear rumors that Kizza Besigye and Museveni are contesting an election because of a woman. I gave it a deaf ear. But later it was revealed that General Museveni has ever dated WINNIE BYANYIMA. Okay? And when WINNIE BYANYIMA revealed this, Moses Karugaba came out to diss WINNIE BYANYIMA that WINNIE BYANYIMA wanted to break up the family of General Kaguta Museveni, and that it took General Kaguta Museveni to get BYANYIMA's belongings, put them in a car, and chase him away in the house. Those are the words of Moses when he tweeted. But that will be for another day. The factor here is that WINNIE BYANYIMA came out to go publicly and also attack General Museveni on his tweet, saying that Kizza Besigye must be released, that he doesn't have anything, because it is mandatory for anyone to get bail when he or she spends 6 months in prison. Kizza Besigye have not gotten that. The Director of Public Prosecution has instead given more reasons as to why Kizza Besigye must be put in jail. Okay? So WINNIE BYANYIMA coming out to speak directly. So WINNIE BYANYIMA coming out to speak directly to Dr. Kizza Besigye, it means a lot of things. Before I proceed, I want to play a tape when WINNIE BYANYIMA was calling on Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to release his husband. Here's the tape.
I'm disappointed. I've just learned that my husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and his friend, Haj Obeid Rutale, have been denied bail once again. They've been in prison for more than 180 days the government has kept changing the charge sheet and has been unable to move a case and start trying them. They have a right to mandatory bail after being in prison for 180 days, yet it has been denied. I appeal to President Museveni to do justice for my husband, Dr. Kizza Besigye, and his friend, Hajobet Kamlege, and all other political prisoners who've been in jail for months, for years, without trial, and for whom their only crime is to disagree politically. They are political dissidents. They should not be in prison. They should be out there expressing their independent views peacefully, as they have been. Thank you, Mr. President. It's justice that we ask for, nothing else.
That is Winnie Byanyima. I was reading a book, I have forgotten its name, but it tells you how you can speak to your opponent in politics. For example, if you are against a politician, you cannot engage while sitting down. You can make public declaration. Okay? For example, last week Bobi Wine came out to say that there are supposed to be some talks between him and General Kaguta Museveni, but they must be there on condition that General Museveni should stop subjugating them or stepping on them, yet he wants to talk. That's a direct message to your opponent that is you are free to talk with him. So here I think Winnie Byanyima is speaking directly to General Kaguta Museveni to tell him, look, Besigye is in 68 years. He has spent 6 months in prison. At least you can give a green light for him to be given bail. Because I know all these suckers can be stopped by the sitting general. The buck stops with the president. If he directed the Director of Public Prosecution, Richard B. Rivumla, to stop these suckers, Dr. Kizza Besigye will be out of prison. Okay? What pains me more that Dr. Kizza Besigye is among the people who brought this government in power. He risked his life in the bush to bring the government that is going to kill him in prison. God forbid. What if news comes out to say that Dr. Kizza Besigye has died in jail? Because first of all, he's a weak man. He's an old man. Okay? We all know by face value he has no case to answer. I don't want to speak about the merits and demerits of the case. I may be charged of sub judice, but he has no case to answer, yet he continues to be in jail. Here in Uganda, we have a criminal justice system that is used against opponents. When will the criminal justice system end? And it brings me to another point. The judiciary should learn not to use the judiciary as a stick of fighting democracy. In Kenya, the judiciary is on the forefront of putting out rulings that help democracy. If I was a judge in the table, on the chair in this ruling, I would go on to give Kizza Besigye bail. It helps on our jurisdiction. But whenever you put a person who has spent 6 months in prison, yet he's supposed to get mandatory bail in a prison, it speaks to a lot of things. You remember how Segrinya died? Okay? In fact, in order to buttress the point of Winnie Byanyima, he also accompanied it with a tweet. He came out to say, I'm asking for justice, not forgiveness. Kizza Besigye is a law-abiding Ugandan who has served this country with courage and integrity. At 68, he has spent over 180 days in Luzira prison without trial. He is entitled to and has applied for mandatory bail. The NRM government is using every trick to block it. This is not justice, it is persecution. President Museveni, please do not abuse the courts. That's the tweet which was put out by Winnie Byanyima, complaining directly to General Kaguta Museveni. And don't be fooled. General Museveni pays a lot of attention to these things. There are some things he speaks about in social media. Okay? And remember, Winnie Byanyima has ever been in the system. He knows where to touch. Even when Dr. Kizza Besigye was abducted from Kenya, Winnie Byanyima was the first person to say that Dr. Kizza Besigye is not in Kenya, he's in Uganda in a safe house. Before even the media understood, and after 2 or 3 days, the state accepted that they have Dr. Kizza Besigye. So he has ever been in the system. There are some people who give him news. He complained directly to General Kaguta Museveni. I supposed to be. And that is politics. Truth is, Dr. Kizza Besigye must be released. No sane Ugandan can give a green light to the incarceration of Dr. Kizza Besigye. Dr. Kizza Besigye is fit to be my grandfather, yet is in jail for petty things. Okay. Dr. Kizza Besigye, after his death, they write on his grave as a freedom fighter who gave in all of his effort to streamline democracy in our country. Yet, we Ugandans are not giving him the necessary support. Of course, that's my opinion. Remember by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is the first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
Nange benjagala obulungi